Hey guys, what's up? I want to make a quick video here. Hopefully, this helps somebody. Of course, God puts me through my life experiences, and then I'm able to hopefully communicate and articulate it to those who are either going through similar problems or issues that, maybe I went through in my life, or potentially will in the future. But either way, the message stays the same. If you haven't heard of a character in scripture by the name of Job, definitely check that out. Or Joseph in scripture, check that out. And I bring these two guys in particular, but there's so many others. We look at, I know when I first read the book of Job, I'm like, wow, why would God put this guy through such torturous times? And the truth of the matter is, I mean, it's said right at the outset, right in the first chapter, why. God has more faith in us than we have in ourselves, and He knows, and He has more faith in us because He put it inside of us. The thing is, we have to experience it in order for us to even know that we have that we were built for that. So we won't know what that gift is until we actually go through something, and then we can manifest the things in our lives that come from that experience. So, for example, Job, he went through a living nightmare, but primarily, he was going to go through it because he was built for it. And, we all are in some way, shape, or form built for the adversity that is ahead of us. But in his brokenness and in his trials and tribulations, he never wavered. He stood faithful to God because he believed in God, and God knew that from the beginning. But more importantly, so what is the purpose of suffering? What is the purpose and point of going through these battles in life? Well, number one, they're all demonic. See, the thing is, we all wear this bag of flesh, and so your brother, your sister, your mother, your wife, your uncle, your father, your son, all might look the same because we're all flesh. But there is a spirit inside of us that is going to show us the dichotomy between good and evil. And that is where all of your pain and suffering is revealed. You see, Job went through, I mean, like I said, crazy nonsense. You should read it. Um, and he stood faithful. And of course, towards the middle and the end of the book, of course, he says, "Man, God, why are you putting me through this? I mean, I didn't do anything. I mean, I worship you. I've been good. I tithe. I give to people." And he was wondering why would he go through that, you know? Although other scripture says, that no man is good, no one is good. Our righteousness is as filthy as rags. So good is something that is, whatever your definition of what you think good is. But then Joseph, I mean, here's a guy who had a vision, who had a dream, who had aspirations. I mean, this was not because of him. It was because it's something that God put inside of him. It was something that he had. It was a vision. He had clairvoyancy. And he goes and he tells his brothers and his father and mother, hey, listen, I had a dream that, you guys were all like bowing down to me, and it was like crazy, and they were like bowing down to who? What you think you are? And they beat him up. His brothers beat him up and left him for dead. And they lied to their father to say Joseph died. And then they showed him the blood of his garment. And then he was sold into slavery. And then he was and everywhere that Joseph went, he kept his integrity. He just worked. He did what he did. He never shook his fist up to God. And he figured this is the grand scheme of things. He believed in the vision. He believed that God said what he, meant what he said, and that it was going to come to fruition. But when? No one ever knows. But here's where everything culminates, whether it's any one of these two characters in scripture or all the others. And that is, we won't know the evil that's around us. We won't know that impure spirit that's right beside us until we go through the horrific times. Because it's in those horrific times where you're going to find the people who are going to support you more, and you'll know that's a clean spirit, that's a spirit of God. These are people who are going to support you. These are people who are going to feel empathetic. These are people who are going to feel sympathetic towards what you're going through. These are people who are going to believe in you regardless, okay? Because they know that you're a man of integrity or a woman of integrity. And then we see the evil spirits. We see the people saying, man, you must have done something horrible because, sheesh, karma has gotten you back. Sorry for you, man. And you're going to see the people who could help you and don't help you. You're going to see the people that used to say, hey, is there anything I can do for you? Is there any, because, obviously you were giving to them, so they want to pretend that they're giving back to you. And then you'll see those guys say like, hey man, sheesh, I wish I could help, but I got things to do on my own. Even though when you had things to do on your own, you were always there for them and everybody else. But that's the beauty. So if you get anything out of this is the beauty of going through hardship. It's the beauty of going through the process of pain and aches, is that you're going to see. You have to keep your eyes open, okay, and keep your mind alert. Scripture says, don't conform yourself to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's where it's at. It's your mind, because the flesh is weak. The flesh, our eyeballs, what we see naturally, deceives us. These are the guys who are like, man, sheesh, I heard you're going through some stuff. Sheesh, I wish I could help. Man, it feels bad. I mean, you sure you didn't do anything to deserve this? Huh? These are the guys who are in the back talking to each other and go, sheesh, did you see Joseph? Man, this guy was going through like a turmoil. I mean, here he is. He's always telling people about how good his God is and everything. But look at that. He's going through some stuff. And then you hear it through the grapevine, and then you see things. And what happens is your mind is open and your spirit is fully activated, and you get to see the demonic, toxic people in your life. And now here's the problem. Even Job's wife and his best friends were like, wow, why don't you just curse God and die already? I mean, sheesh, because they didn't believe. They didn't believe. But you can't have other people's disbelief ruin your belief. And at the end of the day, you either are, like scripture says, for God, or you're against him. Not that you're not for him, you're against him. So you either believe and put your money where your mouth is, or you don't believe. There is no other in between. So I can tell you right now, the heartaches, the pain, and everything that you go through is for a purpose. It's for you to see the people around you who really are. Because again, we're in this bag of flesh. And so we can't really see the spirit until we go through things. And when we go through things, you start to see the ugliness inside people. And you get to see some of the beauty of other people. But at the end of the day, you learn. And that's how you elevate. And once you've learned that and you've come to the conclusion that God has indeed put you in a place where you needed to be, or else you wouldn't have seen it. If you were all rich and all money and all good and all joy, you wouldn't see or know the poisonous, ravenous people, the demonic principalities that live inside these flesh bags. You wouldn't know. You would not know if you were in that state. So you have to go down, you have to go into the soil, you have to get dirty, and just like a seed looking up for the sun and waiting to be nourished by water and hoping to grow and sprout to see a new light. Unfortunately, that is the death and the rebirth that you have to go through in order to become new. But here's the beauty. If you read the end, or at least you read, I believe in chapter 30 or chapter, I don't even know, 50, in Genesis, in the book for Joseph, you see obviously he was blessed and he was put second in command, and everybody that were regular people in his lives he got to see, and then he became above them. And he never used his aboveness as superiority. He just knew now he was wiser. You can be someone who can lead now a little bit better because you can have better spiritual discernment. And Job was blessed a trillion fold, and he got everything back. And the important thing out of all this is not the material gain. I mean, yes, that is phenomenal too, but it's the spiritual gain. It's the power and wisdom that you have that now is elevated, because now you can't be fooled. And Satan, of course, is going to elevate his game, and then you're going to go through that death and rebirth again. But at least this time you're wiser. And the beauty is that throughout the whole thing, you never lost faith. And when you don't lose faith, you will be elevated exponentially in your life, and you'll be able to bless other people who need and really truly want to be blessed, and not the demonic people who are around you only when you have. All right. I hope this message helps somebody. I got a lot more, but I'm excited because the blessings are pouring in. All right, guys. Peace.